I did a film with an absolute idiot of a co-star, and this human being was being so insecure and angry because this person couldn't get the scenes out. And I think I was so vulnerable.
Ryan Reynolds might have been the perfect Hollywood figure for a long time, but many celebrities have figured him out for his lousy ego and rudeness and view patterns. And you will be shocked to find out the 10 celebrity show brutally dissed Ryan, and the crazy words they used to describe him. Ryan Reynolds has been able to his true colors under the facade of comedy for a time. But not after he went all out. They showed the Jersey Shore cast Sammy Giancola Aquar Cellular coarsely just how rude heckled be when the cast was on watch with Appens Liv Cohen, Andy Cohen, they weirdest about encountering rude celebrity. Industry, how Versamy tried to answer without naming names because mentioning big names in Hollywood in situations like this. See, ask back for deeper, we dig deeper. You will understand why this is important even for other highly rated celebrities Maze I and Dina encountered. Are you ever deep? We don't want to say Hoyt as well. Sammy was trying to cover up. The celebrity Dina let it all out by revealing they were referring to Ryan Reynolds, but with this Dina wanted to play it cool by adding he was not G or great. To us, I love Ryan Reynolds, and I love Blake Lively, and he didn't want to be biased. Sammy also revealed that Alva Fryan was rude. She's still him. Sm. She also gave him the benefit of the doubt by adding maybe he had a bad day. How Versamy and Dina wouldn't be.
I did a film with an absolute idiot of a co-star, and this human being was being so insecure and angry because this person couldn't get the scenes out. And I think I was so vulnerable and comfortable that I got screamed at. But because this person was number one on a call sheet, there was no safety net for me. So no one.
The first not to want to mention names as they share their rude encounters with celebrity Stravica Ferguson got so hurt in one offer.
The next day I walked on and I said, "You get off my set." It's the first time I've ever spoken. I remember being so scared. And I looked at this person and I said, "You can F off. I'm going to work towards a tennis ball. I'll never see you."
Asked movies that she had to reveal just how terribly a co-star disrespected her on set, even though she never mentioned him. She spelled out the traumatizing experience and how it were for her.
And I said, "But the person can turn around and I can act to the backhead."
Although Rebecca was so scared of THI.ERSO and .1 supported her because the co-star was an influential Hollywood figure and reinforced asset on set, but she stood her ground. To say food off course it wasn't such an call because the producers couldn't let the co-star go due to them being the number on set, and Rebecca had to go through an alternative route to stand up for herself since Rebecca made the statement to sing. An unknown but popular figure. People have been interested in figuring out who she was referred to. G2, and in a scenario where it would have made sense to act to the back of the person's height, it had to have been a CGI movie where they could work around the editing. However, one of her past movie projects life fits this narrative even more. Anshesh was in a film with Ryan Reynolds. And Jake Gyllenhaal. People have continued to speculate on how the person Rebecca was referring to is Jack or other co-stars she had worked with until recently when they discovered it could have been Ryan, with many unpleasant things now coming up about him regarding Blake Ispel and Justin's lawsuits. Rebecca tried to play things cool during the promotion life, as she opted to promote alone without her Dinko stars. And it was apparent the incident happened on that set, with many fingers now pointing at Ryan. After all, it wouldn't be the first time someone has been careful about mentioning his name in a case like this. And do you know what is even more scary about this story? Rebecca never named anyone. Her colleagues started calling her to warn her, saying, "You understand what you've done, right?" Rebecca had to stand her ground and say that if someone is a good person, they.
You have an ongoing feud with Ryan. You know that guy. What's it gonna take for him to actually be BFFs with you?
Well, I mean, in truth, there was a time in which we
don't have to worry about anything, and Ryan is believed to have been pretending to be a good person for the
words for Ryan, seeing as the next time we talk to him, he will be seeing that.
I have nothing to say to him.
The truth started spilling out, which is why you will find it even more shocking to discover Rebecca is probably the only one who had a feud with 3N from that set. Has also come as Jake has out to deny him, even though they were friends. And it appears Ryan may have done something. Jake finds it unforgivable because he dismissed him without giving a damn about that facial expression at the end. Already says the very thing about how Jake feels of Butrian. Speaking about co-star, Morna Bararan also had some not so pleasant experience with Ryan Reynolds. which explained her reduced role in Deadpool despite starting very strongly in the franchise from playing one of the essential characters in the first Deadpool is becoming absent and taking a minor position. It's being revealed that none of this is a coincidence, as Moreno was intentionally left out of all present events concerning Deadpool and Wolverine because she had a disagreement with Ryan on set on the red carpet photos at the premiere. Moreno was pictured all by herself, which is said to based on Ryan's demands, and it's a fascinating parallel to what happened between Blake and Justin. And it ends with this: what happened between Mare and Adrian on the set of Deadpool was such a powerful move that Moreno wasn't even pictured with any of the other co-stars in the film, even though they were all happily surrounding Ryan at the premiere. Agreement might have been a bootstrapping her roles or the jokes in the movie, and Ryan's ego couldn't take it. But whatever may have gone down, Ryan showed his power and sidelined the actress who stood her ground, but had nobody to back her against him, and Diablo, who else called out Ryan for the insecurities.
Really weird moment on Deadpool where he said, let's do one more take. And everyone was like, okay. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And then as the character, he was like horrifically mean to me. But to me.
Cathartic.
As if I'm...
that he hides. Underneath jokes, another of his co-stars, TJ Millard, who played Weasel in Deadpool, revealed he left the film because of Ryan, and I wouldn't have...
He was like, you know what's great about you, Weasel? You're not the star. But you just, you do just enough exposition that is funny, and then we can leave and get back to the real movie.
Have returned to Deadpool 3, even if they offered him twice the amount he was paid for the previous gig. TJ also revealed that Hugh will never work with him again because he never recovered from how terribly Ryan treated him on that set. Even though they are both into comedy, TJ is very convinced that Ryan wasn't joking but was downgrading him to hurt him without any remorse when he said so. He was like, "Yeah, know what's great about you, Weasel? You're not the star, but you're Regis. No, you do just enough exposition, say it's funny, and then we can leave and get back to the real movie." TJ also couldn't think of any reason why Ryan would be rude to him or embarrass him just for playing a minor character by saying he's not the star. He believes it's firmly due to Ryan's insecurities. It wasn't for any other reason, but to remind TJ he's not as successful as he is, and this wouldn't the first time a celebrity would call Ryan is as insecure because even his ex-partners did, and it's unbelievable how Ryan scarred his ex-wife over this, as we get to it soon when TJ mentioned Hugh will never work with Ryan again. He shared this conviction with the former director of Deadpool, Tim Miller, who left this job because of Ryan Reynolds. Tim revealed that Ryan's possessiveness of Deadpool films drove him from the franchise. Tim said it became clear that Ryan wanted to be in control of the franchise. You can successfully work that way as a director, but I can't. I don't mind having a debate, but if I can't really don't want to play, and I don't think you can negotiate every creative decision there's too much to make. Ryan being the face of the franchise was an advantage. He had to boot Tim out of the production to get his way when Tim wouldn't compromise when Ryan isn't taking control of film projects or buying Jinsuker over his colleagues to the point of being rude to them and icing them out. He does that in his romantic relations. It was pretty awful. Scene with Scarlett Johansson, whom he married from 2008 to 2011. Ryan met and started dating Scarlett in 2007. They dated for about a year before Ryan proposed, and they got married in 2008. It's believed that their marriage just started hitting a rock when Scarlett was getting big acting contracts in projects like Iron Man 2 and The Avengers between 2009 and 2011 before they were released. This detail is significant for what Scarlett was exposed as soon as they divorced. Ever since their marriage ended, Scarlett has been hinting at many things that went wrong in their union, and the keywords are always jealousy and insecurity. She said, "I don't like jealousy behavior. I don't mind an occasion I'll check in, but when somebody is passive-aggressively jealous, it's unattractive because it shows a sort of insecurity. Controlling behavior is awful." Nobody's going to say they love that. It's no longer news that Ryan loves to be in charge with how he took over Deadpool and made the former director quit, and Scarlett also implied that he was like that in their marriage, which she didn't find cute at all, with how Scarlett was landing major Marvel studio roles when Ryan was having little luck at the time. It makes sense why Scarlett became so convinced that one of the reasons their marriage ended because of her success saying the logistics of being with another actor are challenging. There has to be a real understanding of how you share your time, especially when two people's careers are going at the same rate, even if one person is more successful than the other. That also proves challenging. There may be a competitive thing. On another occasion, Scarlett slammed Ryan again for his insecurities by saying dating an actor is volatile because Ryan ruined the experience for her. She added that there will always be a more successful person in a marriage, but in this case, Ryan never wanted to be the least successful person in the union. Scarlett reeled objection to how actors feel when unsuccessful in assuming they aren't wanted. And another possible big reason why Scarlett's marriage to Ryan ended was Blake. Ryan and Blake met on the set of Green Lantern when Ryan was still married. They had an insane chemistry and couldn't keep it together around each other on set until they became separated from their partners and started dating. However, for Ryan, who felt he was already losing control in his marriage to Scarlett due to his fragile ego, it was very easy for him to connect with Blake in an unhealthy way against his Maria Jado Scarlett, which destroyed it before Ian met Scarlett. He had a long-term relationship with Alanis Morissette. They started dating in 2002 and became engaged in 2000. For sadly enough, they couldn't get to the altar before calling off their wedding after about 6 years of relationship as a singer. Alanis expressed her pains and experience with Ryan in music. She mentioned that her split with Ryan inspired her album Flavors of Entanglement, and in one of lines it read, "If I just say it's true, I'm unbelievably insecure, really broken and devastated, then I can move through it." And it's super weird how Theored insecure always creeps in Tony thing Ryan's exes say about him and given his track record, it's too frequent to be a lie. One not so hidden secret in Hollywood is that many filmmakers are very afraid to work with Ryan Reynolds. Best he could take over their projects from them, and this prominent filmmaker went all out to diss Ryan and the type of production he does. Quentin Tarantino confirmed that he never wants to do anything with Ryan because he's just a well-paid actor with no quality project to show for it. He said, "I mean, and I'm not picking on anybody, beautifully for Netflix. Ryan Reynolds has made $50 million on this movie and $50 million on that movie and $50 million on the next movie for them. I don't know what any of those movies are. I've never seen them, have you?" Quentin continued to diss Ryan by saying it's good for him that he's making so much money, but it's almost like they don't exist. This is a direct shade by Quentin, who doesn't like working with streaming companies, but Ryan has worked with Netflix on 6 and